it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. So today I come to you barefaced, which could only mean one of a few things. And yeah, that means I'm bringing you another first impression today. So I'm doing a first impression on this foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte foundation. This is supposed to be a 24-hour foundation. It's supposed to have a demi-matte finish. It's supposed to have an air-light texture and be oil-free. And of course, like every foundation, or pretty much every foundation, this does contain the typical 1 fluid ounce. So before I get into the foundation, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about my skin and about just me and everything. If you've seen my first impressions before, you probably have heard this before, but I'm just going to quickly go over it. So I have like combo oily skin. It has been a little bit dry like in the corners of my nose and a little bit oily in my T-zone, of course, but I haven't been as oily as I used to be. I do have like combo skin. It either leans more oily or dry depending on the day or the season. And I do have acne prone skin. I do have acne like on my face, and I do have scars that I want to cover up. That's pretty much all the information you need to know. My skin can be sensitive, but I don't think it's ultra sensitive. And yeah, so like I said, the finish of this foundation is supposed to be a demi-matte, which is basically semi-matte. It's not fully matte, but it's semi-matte. And it's supposed to wear up to 24 hours. I won't be wearing this for 24 hours, but I'm going to at least try to wear this for 12. And then the texture is supposed to be air light, so it's not going to feel like anything on my face, or at least they claim that. And then I'm just going to pull up the claims off of Ulta's website. I did get this at Target for $10.99, and I believe they upped the price at Ulta for a few dollars more. Okay, so I'm actually pulling this information off of L'Oreal's website. So this foundation comes in 12 different shades from what I can see from L'Oreal's website. Okay, so on Ulta's website it says the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 24-Hour Foundation has a light air light texture with a demi-matte finish. This super gliding mattifying formula has a high water concentrate for maximum comfort that lasts, and the benefits say it contains shine D5 blotting spheres that act like a blotting paper, instantly absorbing sweat and oil without disturbing color or pigment, and it has about medium coverage, they say. And how to use. It just says, instead of rubbing foundation onto skin, gently press foundation into skin, focusing in the T-zone. So they don't really say like what brush to use, if to use a sponge or a brush, or what to use. So on one side, of course, I'll be using a sponge, and on the other side I would be using a brush. So let's just get right into applying this foundation and testing it out and giving you the first impression, because I'm sure this was a very long intro. And I think I forgot to mention this, but the shade that I did pick up is 102. This is supposed to be Shell Beige, which tends to be my skin tone. I'm usually like the second shade. So on the side of my face, I'm going to be using the Tarte Cosmetics 116 brush. This is like a flat top kabuki, and it's been my favorite like foundation brush recently. I've been gravitating towards brushes recently actually, so I'm going to be using this. And then on this side of my face, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal sponge. This is their foundation blender, which I love, I'm obsessed with, and since this is a L'Oreal foundation review, I felt like it was necessary to be using the L'Oreal sponge. So on the side we're going to use a brush, on the side we're going to use a sponge, and we're going to see like which side I like better and how it applies. So yeah, we're going to finally get into it. And like I didn't mention this, but I do like the packaging. I do like the squeeze tube. I think it's really easy to apply. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out. It is more liquidy. I did try out their Total Cover a couple months ago, so if you want to see that, I will link it up above. And it is more of a liquidy foundation. I'm just going to put like this much on. So yeah, the color does look right for me, and this is what it looks like. It's pretty liquidy and everything like that, and I'm just gonna go right in with the brush on my hand and apply it that way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this. I'm gonna just stipple it on. It says to press it in my skin, so I think I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do like half of my face first. Press it in. So far I'm liking the coverage I'm getting. I am going to like blend it, you know, like of course I'm going to blend it, but I am going to kind of like go like this as well. It's looking pretty nice with a brush. I am going to like stipple blend it and like press it in, and yeah, it's looking like generally nice. I know this isn't a new foundation, it actually came out a couple years ago, but I always like trying new foundations that are, even if they're not new, they're just new to me. Okay, so I used up most of the foundation that was on my hand and everything, and I'm really liking how this has applied to my face. I feel like it just looks very smooth on my skin. I feel like it has blurred my skin out just a tiny bit and everything. It looks better farther away, but that's always how my foundations look, like better farther away. I don't know if that makes any sense. This is kind of the comparison from both the sides. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a close-up right now and everything like that. But yeah, this is what these sides look like compared and everything, like this side to this side. So I do have a little bit left. I'm gonna use some of that to apply to my other side of my face, and let's see if we get better coverage or what happens. Going to blend. Okay, so the sponge is like easier to pat it in because that's how you use a sponge. It's looking pretty good so far. I always like using a brush, or like if I use a sponge. If I don't use a brush, I think that's applying pretty decently. It hasn't soaked up product or like much product, so I'm pretty happy about that. It seems to be blending pretty easily. Like I love this foundation blender. It's pretty much one of my favorites. I like this one and the Real Techniques. So farther away in my other mirror, they both pretty much look the same and everything, but when I look in this mirror, I do find that the side with the brush does look a little bit better, but I feel like that's just how it goes sometimes, and I feel like I just need to add more product. And this was pretty much only one layer, so I did get a pretty much got like pretty medium coverage with just one layer, and it does claim to be a medium coverage foundation. So I kind of want to keep building this up to be more full coverage, to get that more full coverage look, because this is a medium. So yeah, I'm gonna use my brush. I like that one better, and try to get more coverage. And we're just gonna try to build the coverage up. So I'm gonna press it in. Okay, so I did probably like 2 layers of foundation, maybe 2.5, and everything like that. And I love the coverage. I do think it is buildable, so you can build it from a medium to a full coverage if you wanted to, which I feel like I will do like on days when I want full coverage. But I do like how it is medium coverage, but I probably will build it up to full coverage, which I don't think is hard to do because you only need like 2 layers to do it. And if you have like less imperfections than me, you'll probably be able to get full coverage faster. And I love how it looks. I just went over with the brush on both sides, and I do think it looks pretty good and everything like that. I do think my skin looks a little smooth, and it covers everything up, which is always my concern with foundations, because I feel like sometimes they don't cover everything up. They don't cover up pesky pimples, and that always gets on my nerves because I'm like, can you just cover this up, please? So far, so good. And like it claims, it doesn't feel very heavy. It just feels very light on my face, and it's very like, it's matte, but it's not like drying on my face, you know what I mean? Like it's not like sucking the life out of me and everything, and it feels like pretty matte. I'm kind of curious how this would be without a setting powder. Right now it is 10:18, so I'm gonna go put on the rest of my makeup. But before I do it, I am going to give you close-ups just so you can see what it looks like close up, and I'm just gonna like show you the foundation close up and everything like that, and then I'll go put on the rest of my makeup and come back. And yeah, so yeah, I'm so impressed so far. We'll see how it goes when I put on the rest of my makeup. But yeah, here are your close-ups. Okay, so I'm back. It is 10:45 right now, and I love this foundation so far. My first impressions are very good so far. I'm loving it. I felt my skin before I like put on powder, and I'm super obsessed with it. Like, I love how it looks and everything, and just felt just very smooth, and it felt just very matte, but it didn't feel like heavy or anything like that. I do feel like I'm not even wearing makeup, which is always good because I hate when you feel like you have like a cake face. I always try to avoid hated that. I hate that so much, and I feel like I'm not wearing much and everything, and it looks full coverage. It looks beautiful. It looks like you're wearing makeup, of course, but it doesn't look like too dramatic where maybe people would think this is my real skin, you know what I mean? I do really like it and everything like that, and I love how my makeup turned out today because of it. I feel like just everything like applied beautifully over it. I did set it lightly with a powder, and all the products I used on my face will be listed down below. And yeah, I love how it looks. It just looks very like just flawless and everything like that. I'm super impressed with it. So yeah, the check-in time we're gonna call 10:45, by the way. And yeah, super impressed so far. I really like how my makeup has turned out. I really like how like bronzer and highlight and blush has all applied over it, and I love just how it looks. I didn't actually use a tinted powder today, I just used a translucent one, and I love just how it looks and everything like that. I am going to bring you through the rest of my day. I will give you check-ins throughout the day. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a check-in in an hour or if I'm going to go like 2 or 3 hours, but we'll kind of see. I'm going to bring you throughout my day, and we'll see how it lasts, and we'll see how this goes and everything like that. Like so far, thumbs up for me. Okay, so it's 2:46 right now, and my foundation has been on for 3 hours. This is technically the first check-in, even though I did like show you my makeup after my makeup, so technically that's the first check-in. I don't know what to call it. And pretty much nothing has changed. My foundation pretty much looks the same. I'm still really impressed with it. I did notice that like in the corner of my nose it is a tad bit dry, but that's not really a big deal. Like I honestly get dry there either way, so like that's just normal. It's not like fading, and it's not like wearing off in certain spots, even though I have been sweating. So it's wearing pretty well for the 3-hour mark. Of course, it's only been 3 hours, so usually foundations do wear pretty well with 3 hours. So we'll see how it goes when we get to the 5-hour mark and also at the end of the night. I know I said that I'd probably wear this for 12 hours, so halfway through how long it's supposed to last. But honestly, like I probably will only keep this on for 10 hours. We'll see what happens though. You never know what could happen. And yeah, I'm still loving the foundation so much so far. I think it's wearing very well. It just looks really well, and it's just really good, and I'm really impressed with it and everything like that. And yeah, it feels very light on my face. I don't really feel like when I'm wearing foundation. It's staying pretty matte, which I'm liking. I'm not really getting oily, even though I have been sweating, like I've probably mentioned a couple times now. But yeah, so yeah, I'll see you in a couple hours, probably at the 5-hour mark. Okay, so now it's 4:45, so the foundation has been on for I think 5 hours. I'm just gonna put on the total time like on the bottom of the screen just because I've been messing it up. Sorry, my math can be bad sometimes. Oops. So yeah, the foundation is still looking pretty good. I'm really happy with how it looks. I still look like my highlights on, my blush is on, everything looks good. I'm really happy with the way everything looks. I am a little bit more sweaty because I just got finished doing more cleaning, so I am sweaty, so I don't know if it actually does soak up your oil. I don't know if that's actually true, but you know, it's fine. I'll just blot it a little bit, but I'm not really doing much, so I don't really need to. But I still think it looks pretty good. Like I still think it looks really good and everything. I'm pretty impressed with it. I love how it looks. My skin still looks pretty full coverage, pretty flawless. I'm like super impressed. I'm just backing away the window because I feel like the window gives me too much sunlight, even though it's pretty gloomy out. And yeah, I'm really impressed with still how it looks and everything. I'm recording this vlog style if you couldn't already tell, so this foundation is still a thumbs up for me. Hey friends, so I'm outside. I'm going to give you my final update on this foundation. And it is the next day. If you can already tell, I did reapply this foundation, so I'm still wearing the same foundation as I was yesterday, but it is the next day, so I have freshly applied, of course, and I thought I would give you my final thoughts. I did record just a clip of me showing you the foundation, how it was at the end of the night, and I did end up wearing it for about 10 hours, so I do feel like I got a good wear time out of it. I feel like 10 hours is how I wear most of my foundations. And yeah, so I will insert the clips of me like showing you the foundation, showing you how it wore and everything, and I'll just be kind of like telling you my thoughts on it and my pros and my cons on it and everything like that. And yes, I am recording this clip outside because the lighting is good out here, better than inside. So if you do hear any like wind chimes or birds chirping or any background noises, just you know, don't pay attention to it, just avoid that, but I'm sure it's fine. So I really liked this foundation. I thought it was a great foundation. I really loved it and everything. As you might have saw with my initial first impression, like
like as I applied it and as I wore it within the first hour, I loved it. The texture, I liked how airlight it was. I honestly feel like this is my own skin. Like I don't feel like I'm wearing foundations. I feel like it's true to my own skin. Like I honestly feel like I'm touching my own skin. It doesn't feel cakey or anything like that. It's very airlight like it said, so I feel like that's a big pro, and I feel like their claims are pretty true to what the foundation actually did. So yeah, basically the pros are that it is very light on your skin. You feel like you're in your own skin, which I love because some foundations can look cakey or they can just be a little too much on your skin, which I liked how airlight it was. I liked how it did dry down pretty fast, which can be also a con because some people don't like when foundations dry down too fast because then it kind of gets like cakey when you do multiple layers, but I didn't feel like that foundation did this at all. And I also felt like it didn't really make me too oily. I got oily about around the end of the night, but also I was doing a lot of cleaning and vacuuming a lot yesterday, so that could have been why I was a little bit oily, but I did feel like it controlled my oils pretty well, and getting oily around 8 to 10 hours is normal, and I feel like that's fine. So I didn't really find a con in that at all. I thought that was fine and everything like that, and it didn't like disturb any of my other makeup, and I did find the coverage to be more medium to full coverage. It is very buildable, which is what I love most about it, is because it's not like it was like not builded it very well while still looking pretty natural and still looking like my own skin. Like, and I do have pretty bad acne and it didn't cover up beautifully. I honestly felt like it just really perfected everything. It really just made it natural, like I said. This is what it looks like second day if you wanted to see. But yeah, I do really like it, and I do like how it applied. I do like how it wore throughout the day. I feel like how it like lasted all day. I feel like it would last 12 hours, or even if I had to wear it for like a whole long day, like 16 hours, I feel like it would last that long. But yeah, I really do like this foundation. It's a big thumbs up for me. It's definitely one I'm going to keep using, keep repurchasing, and I really love it. My first impression on it is very strong, like expected. And yeah, I think I do like this one better than the Total Cover, but I still think Total Cover is good. They're just two different consistencies, and I prefer the consistency of this foundation because it is more air light and everything. They both have that similar texture, like air light texture, but one is thick and one is like a little bit more liquidy. And honestly, it didn't really break up. My blush was still on pretty well at the end of the day for 10 hours, so I don't really have any cons about this foundation. And this is only a first impression, so as I wear it more, I might find a con about it, but at the moment I don't have cons about it, and I do think it's a really good foundation. Highly would recommend. So definitely if you're looking for a new foundation that's matte and not heavy on your face, definitely go for this one. I'm going to link it down below so you can purchase it and everything like that. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first impression. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below any first impressions I should do next, just any drugstore foundations or even high-end ones. Maybe I'll do those eventually, I don't know. I like to stick to drugstore foundations just because that's kind of girl I am. And also let me know any videos you'd like to see next. Sorry, there's a truck going by. And please subscribe if you haven't already because I post videos every single week, and also the notification bell down below to be notified. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
I wanna be like most.